All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Mind of Iggy, and it's still morning, so it's 11:45 on Monday here in Columbus. So I just want to say hi to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Been really busy these last few weeks. Everything's just been really quick and very fast. There's been a lot going on. Just been keeping, just keeping myself busy now that things are coming back online a little bit. There are people who were requesting drum circles and different events for me to participate in and be part of. So my calendar is starting to fill up, which is good. That's what you want. We want to get back in the flow of things. And so I'm just trying to get everything organized and trying to get myself revamped, into the groove, because there's so much happening behind the scenes in my personal life and my life with my family and stuff. So just trying to work it all through. And so I had to learn some new lessons here about, life and just things, what we have to do in order to get ourselves back on track. One of the biggest things is just understanding who you are in the process of all these dynamics and all these things with different peoples and different relationships that you're in. Because what happens is we kind of get lost in the shuffle because we think that we have to give so much, that we have to be givers, and which is okay. It's okay to give. It's okay to want to give of yourself, extend yourself, and be that person. But you gotta remember, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't give and you don't receive also, then you become depleted, you become exhausted, you become mentally drained, you become mentally, not present for yourself and not present for anybody else, and you become very angry and very frustrated. And so that's kind of the message today, is to be an advocate for yourself, to be, work on number one. Everybody says they want to be your number one, but they should always be your number two, personally, because the person who should be number one is yourself. You should be one, and everybody else behind that is however numbers you want to put it, if you're going to play in that kind of realm and those kind of ideologies. Okay, number one should always be yourself. And that's not being egotistical, and that's not being rude, and it's just knowing that if you don't feed you, you can't sustain yourself. It's the same with your mind. If you don't sustain your mind, you don't feed your mind the proper nourishment, you can't sustain yourself. Whatever you're putting in here in your head, it's in there. It's being recorded. It's like getting in there. It's being shoved in there. Like it or not, you're receiving the information, you're processing the information. Will you use it, not use it? Well, that's yet to be determined. But regardless, it's there. So I'm here to remind people, because there are a lot of people out there who snafu other people when they try to step out of their comfort zones, try to step out of lines, try to be something different, try to be a new person, new version of themselves. There's always that person out there who always goes and tries to remind you and tries to say, but I know him, he's not, There's always the naysayers, okay? The naysayers are usually your family and friends, people who are really close to you. They don't mean to be that way, because the problem is they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to step out of their comfort zone. They're not willing to expand themselves and move into the place, because they're comfortable where they're at, most likely. They're comfortable with that, but they want to keep you comfortable. They want to keep you in that same flow. They want to keep you in that same rhythm, Misery loves company. That's that old saying. This is true. This is very true, okay? An old teacher of mine told me once, you are the books that, back then it was tapes, the associations and the things that you watch. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch Netflix. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch TV. In moderation, pick out and decide what's important to you. Now, something that people have kind of fallen away from is setting goals, setting true, legitimate goals of what you want to do with your life. This is one of the most valuable, important things that we totally discount and totally discard. Why? Because we think that we can have a list in our head. Granted, you can have a list in your head, but I guarantee you, when life starts kicking you around and you start taking numbers and you start getting in line for the next drama that you have to deal with, you'll forget. So, you're able to change your goals. So your goals aren't like set in stone. If you want them to, you have your top goals and things that you want to do. Then you have your middle goals, and then you have your small goals. And all those things have to be prioritized and have to be worked on. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, working on the goal setting and the reevaluation and all the things in my life, because I have several things in my life that have come to fruition. I have a new business opportunity. I have my business in the middle. I have my family and all the things that I want from that. I have to work on those things. So it's a constant juggle. It's a constant work. Your goals should be, some are obtainable, some things you can get small. And some goals that are just really out there that you really have to work, where it really processes your mind to process and work. It really forces you to look at it. Now, you'll be sitting here going, well, yeah, I've done goal setting before and it doesn't work. It's just like every day when you get up, you go to the bathroom, you take a shower, you eat, you drink, and you do your routine. Your goals are the same way. Those are your dreams. If you don't want to call them goals, then call them your dreams. What is it that motivates you? What is it that moves you? What is it that drives your inner core? What is it that amps up that spirit inside of you? What is that? If you can't really say it and you have to really think about it, then you don't have one usually. So I'm just here to say, hey, I'm just like everybody else. I'm just like the next door neighbor, my friends. We all have desires and dreams. And you know what? And we look at the people at the top and we wonder how they got there. Well, they had to struggle, they had to lose, they had to go. Now, I'm not saying here, you're going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a billionaire. No, but if you want to obtain the thing that you truly want, if you want success, the success is just being in life and being able to be comfortable and work through it, you have to write it down. It has to be written, you have to see it, you have to have a vision, you have to visualize it. It has to be in your face. It has to smack you. It has to be there so when you look at it in the mirror, if you have it posted on the mirror, you can't get away from it. It can't be on something you just put in your pocket and you just think about. It has to be all over, scattered all over your house. You got to write down, I want a vacation. So what's it going to take to get a vacation? You got to save money. You got to know where you want to go. What's it look like? What kind of food do you want to eat? What's the things that you want? These are the things that you really have to desire and really work at. And a lot of us don't do that because we get stuck in the rut. Now that we're coming out of this COVID pandemic season of sorts, this test of our abilities and this test of our resolve, this is a good opportunity for us to actually see what we're made of. This is a good revamp, a re-kick, restart, and to see where we're going to go from here. Like the birds that I'm watching flying around here, they have their thing. They have their dreams and desires to procreate, to live out their lives. The cicadas that are coming up, I can hear them screeching out there. They have a goal and they have a desire that they want to live on the earth for 17 years, 14 years, or 3 years, depending on what kind of cicada you are. But when you come up, your whole entire goal, your whole entire existence in that moment is to procreate, is to find a mate. And you know what? Some of you will, some of you won't. Cicadas the same way. Some of them will, some of them won't. Some of them will be eaten, some of them will be washed away, some of them won't even make it out of the ground. This is the same way that we are. We're the same exact way. The only thing is, the big difference that we have is we have this thing called free will. This innate ability to make a decision for ourselves. Now, we're not all going off to the breeding ground somewhere and find a mate. No, that's not what it is. We live through life. We find people that are in our lives. Now here you can find friends, new friends. You don't have any friends? Well, you need to probably step out of your house. You want to find a new mate? Well, you probably have to figure out a new routine, a new strategy, how you're going to do that. It's all about setting goals. It's all about setting desires and dreams. Your dream has to be so big that nobody can steal it. If it's small and anybody can take it, then it wasn't really a dream. It was just some want. And that's what humans do. We just want. But a dream? No, a dream is something that's deep down in our core, deep down inside of us, that motivates us and drives us and forces us to go into that place we want to go. So what is your dream? What is the thing that motivates you? What would you do today? I had a teacher one time who told me, if your child was sick and your child needed medicine, would you just wait around for it to happen, or would you go out and make it happen? Would you go out and decide and find the desires and find the way, work, find 3 different jobs, whatever? Would you do that? Of course you would. You do the best you can, right? Because that is what we do when we love the people we love. Okay? There was an old teacher one time who took a boy out on a boat trip. Okay, he took him out on the trip, and the kid said, hey, I want to be just like you. I want to learn. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a great shaman like you. And the shaman just laughed at him and looked at him. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. And he goes, why are we out in a boat? Because in the boat, this is where we're going to be. He goes, but I want to be a shaman. He goes, of course you want to be a shaman, but I want you to get in the boat with me. So they will go out to the boat, and the shaman says, jump out. And the kid's like, but why? He says, jump out. You want to be a shaman, right? And the kid goes, yeah, I want to be a shaman. Yeah, sure. But why do I have to jump in the water? You have to trust, my friend. You have to trust. You want the desire, right? And the kid's like, okay. He reluctantly jumps into the water. Next thing you know, he's treading in there. The shaman starts to paddle away, and the kid starts to get nervous and starts to freak out. And the kid's like, hey, where are you going? He says, and the shaman looks at him, you want to be a shaman, right? He goes, yeah, but why are you leaving me in the water? He goes, what desire do you have to be a shaman? He goes, well, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I need to get in here, I have no clue, you're supposed to teach me. And then, you know what? The shaman goes, all right, I'll come back. And the kid's ready to go in, and the shaman grabs him by the head and dunks him in the water, and holds him under the water, and the kid's struggling in his arms, and he's just about ready to pass out and just ready to take in that last breath, and then he pulls him up. And the shaman looks at him, and the kid's just about coughing, and he's mad as and angry as can be. The kid can be angry as can be. Whoa, why did you do that? I don't understand. Why did you dunk me like that? And the shaman looked at him, he goes, let me ask you a question. When I had you underwater, what is it that you most desired? I desired to live. I desired to breathe. I wanted to breathe. I wanted to live. I wanted to kill you. I wanted to beat you up. I was angry. I was everything. All emotions rode through me. And the only thing I could think of was, how am I going to breathe? How am I going to survive? And you're holding my head underwater. And if I would have just gone underwater and came around, I might have gotten away. I was thinking all different ways. And at that moment, the shaman says, if you want to be a shaman, it's just like breathing. You got to really, truly want it. And you really got to trust when the process is in effect and when someone's trying to teach you something. If you think you know everything, and you think that you aren't able to learn, and you think they're going to do it your way, and you want to learn from the teachers and the masters, then you have to listen to the teachers and the masters. With that, I'm Iggy Garcia with The Mind of Iggy, 1 Minute Changes with Insights Radio, IggyGarcia.com, and I will see you guys soon.